Doors.
Walter Case Jr. was the youngest driver ever to win 1,000, 1,500, and 2,000 races, and recently became the 20th driver to surpass 4,500 wins. But it hasn't been a smooth trip for the 30-year-old Rainsman. It was here at Lewiston Raceway in central Maine where Walter Case Jr. won his first race some 13 years ago. At the time, Casey did not realize it would serve as the initial step in a climb to greatness and troubles as well.
I fell in love with it right off the bat. As soon as I sat behind my first horse at the age of 10 years old, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I mean, while other kids were playing baseball and playing basketball, I wanted to be out there on the racetrack sitting behind a racehorse. I just thought that it was the ultimate thing.
After unparalleled success, this country boy ventured out of Maine, taking a competitive spirit with him. It served him all too well.
All this stuff happened to me very, very quick in life. You know, I was a success. You know, success came to me very quickly, and I didn't really know what to think about it, tell you the truth. The first year out of Maine was very good to me, and I got a lot of publicity in Monticello, and I was able to succeed very well. And from there, I went to the Meadowlands in 1984, and I put 4 strong years at the Meadowlands.
He had joined the big boys and done so successfully. He was good, but he thought he should win them all. And the losses became more devastating than the wins were sweet.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've always been a guy that's never been able to turn the page very quickly. And some guys, when they lose a race, they can turn the page and go on to the next race very easily and forget about that race. But I've always, sometimes I dwell on a loss a little bit longer than I should, you know? I'm very hard on myself. I wonder why I lost that race. I'll blame myself.
Along the rail, up on the outside now.
To date, his biggest race and biggest disappointment came in the 1987 Breeders' Crown Mare Pace, where he drove odds-on and sentimental favorite Annie Crombie.
I ended up getting parked out in that race and finishing way up the track, not getting a check, and it was a devastating loss, because it was televised nationally. It was the biggest purse race that I was in, and to finish 6th and not get a check, it was devastating.
Looks like Rain has that lead with Glenn Superstar.
It was Casey's nature to put pressure on himself, and eventually it led to the all-too-often escape through drugs and alcohol.
You know, all these races, like, you know, because you always lose races, I've always just put such a burden on myself after the races. If I went 0 for 10 or 0 for 20, it led to a lot of stress and a lot of pressure that I put on myself to, you know, to pushing me towards the alcohol and the drugs, and you know, that's been through my career now for, you know, for 10 years, and that's been the hard part about this whole thing, and I'm trying to deal with it now.
It is a tough lifestyle he leads, driving 6 nights a week, living 300 miles from home. But come Saturday night, it's back to the life he loves.
It's 1 eyeball past 4 a.m. It's time for a long song of the night here on WBC in Boston. And tonight we visit Goodbye Cream.
After driving horses till nearly midnight, Casey jumps in his car for 6 hours before arriving in Lisbon Falls outside of Portland, Maine.
It's a hectic routine, you know. You leave the racetrack at 11:30 on a Saturday night, and you get back on at 5:30 Sunday morning. But it's totally worth it, because my family, I got the greatest family in the world, and you know, a wonderful wife, 2 wonderful kids to come back and see, and the state itself is worth coming back for. It's the greatest state in the world. It's, you know, it's the way life should be. It's a nice laid-back state. The air is great. You know, just it's beautiful.
There is no question about the therapeutic effect being at home has on Casey. He loves his native state and would never consider another place for his family. But come Monday afternoon, it's back to work.
Yeah, when I back out of that driveway Monday afternoon and my wife has got the 2 kids and they're waving goodbye, that's tough. It's tough because I know I'm not going to see them for 5 or 6 days, but I know in my heart and their hearts, you know, they're with me and I'm with them. And that's the tough side of it. That's the sad part of it. But I always know I got my home. My home is back here in Maine. That's my outlet. And that makes the week go by a lot quicker. But my skills have to be exploited at Yonkers because that's where I have to make my living, and that's where it takes me.
Not unlike other high-profile athletes, top harness drivers have to deal with pressure and success. Walter Case is learning to deal with those pressures every day. And once again, he's on the right track.